good now, and I am so deeply sorry for everyone that had to deal with me being all kind of wonky today. Just got a new desk, and as a result of that new desk, I'm trying to play around with my setup here. There's just no need. Go get it. Go get it. Come on. Yeah, come on. Come on. Come on. And there's my dog trying to pretend that he's here. So, yeah, I apologize to for that kind of weird cut start. I have some preset buttons connected to my Stream Deck. That was a whole nightmare. It was an accidental hit. I'm so sorry. I'm going to edit that out before this gets to YouTube. And welcome to the Paladin's Keep. Just taking a quick look at how video settings are looking. Dude, it's looking so much better. I finally made some updates to my stream output and to just kind of make sure that everything was looking a lot better. I've been noticing a little bit of a quality issue. Hey, nobody knows. Welcome on in. I'm so glad to have you here. Yeah, I was having some output issues in terms of how well the video was outputting onto the stream, and I'm pretty confident that I pushed through that, so we'll kind of gauge it through Call of Cthulhu. And if everyone remembers, I played this last year. Not Melinda, welcome on in. Such a pleasure to have you here. How am I doing? I'm doing actually really, really good. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing well. There's a welcome for you because your travels have led you safely to the Paladin's Keep. Hope you rest up and enjoy your time here. We welcome all whose journey crosses our path. Add in 1 sec. No. Boo. I will be patient. Thank you for this welcome. If you can hear me, I think someone had just mentioned there was an ad. I'm not too positive, so now I don't know. It looks like ad breaks in 30 seconds. We got 30 seconds. Okay. 1 second. Alright, I hope the ad break is done. Let me know if you guys can hear. That actually was a perfect opportunity for me to go ahead and grab my tabletop edition of Chaosium's 7th edition of Call of Cthulhu. This is the Keeper's Rule Book for the tabletop role-playing RPG known as Call of Cthulhu. What a better tome to have with us as we journey into our little adventure here, as we jump into spooky season of Call of Cthulhu. As you can, if you guys were noticing, I had a previous save. I was playing this last year during the Halloween season because I ran out of ideas. I'm back. Welcome back. Nobody knows. Love having you here. Thank you for staying patient through that ad break. And so I deleted that save file. Am I playing on PC or console? I'm playing on console. I do have a PC. I have a little guy just hanging out down here. But my PC was not really built for playing games. So, you know, I enjoy that for what it is. I got a PS5 hanging out directly to my my little right over here. So we'll be playing this on console. But I'm also a huge tabletop role-playing games guy. If you can't tell from right behind me, I actually play a boatload of Dungeons & Dragons. Let me actually get rid of that shirt. God, I'm so messy today. Oh, what is this? What is going on? I am losing it, Paladin. I just got a brand new desk, so everything's kind of wonky. I got to get used to the space, so this is like really crazy right now. The desk is literally wrapped around me. I'm not used to this. I feel good. I feel really, really good. It's like the best $160 that I spent. And now I have to clean up like 3 sets of furniture that I've been using to kind of hoard some of this stuff so that I can sell it. So this is just great for some money moves, which really doesn't equate to a money move because I spent money to hopefully make up the money, and I maybe won't be able to make up the money because you never know when you sell secondhand furniture. Give me your snake. Get your snake. Yeah, get your snake, buddy. If you hear my dog, that's my dog Fenrir. He always knows when I'm streaming. So he always knows when to join. So Yeah, we're going to be jumping into some Call of Cthulhu. This is a tabletop game that I play roughly. I'm not the greatest at it, I'm not going to lie. I personally am a dungeon master. I'm loving the portraits on my wall. Oh, thank you. Okay, fun fact, and this isn't to, like, be rude, but this one is the only, technically, no, these two are technically the only ones that are yeah. So this one right here with the dragons, that's a portrait, and that's a portrait as well. I got two, as you can see, those are Marvel Comics, well, actually I got 3 comic books. They're like copies, and then the rest of these are maps, so they're like paper maps that I put up. What's his channel name? Whose channel name? My dog's? Get it. Get your toy. My dog knows when I stream, so he always tries to be up on the channel. Get over here, buddy. But yeah, I play a lot of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, so that is why everything looks like I came straight out of Lord of the Rings, but I do play quite a bit of Call of Cthulhu on the side, so I get to know a little bit of some, pre-knowledge going into this game, which is going to be fun. But we'll jump kind of straight in. Boston, 1924, Edward Pierce, veteran of the First World War, drowns his memories in liquor and sleeping pills. He's now a private detective who has trouble finding a case able to lift him from his torpor. Pierce must find a new case quickly or risk losing his license. Hi Melinda, how are you? Oh damn, you a Marvel fan? I am a Marvel fan. If it was between Marvel and DC, I'm picking Marvel. If it was between Marvel and Star Wars, I'm picking Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, I'm picking Lord of the Rings. So as you can kind of see, I get a little bit more nerdy the more we go down the list. How am I today, Paladin? Nobody knows. I am actually doing very amazing. I just got back from a leadership summit. I did a retreat up north in my state, which is a little bit in the woodsy areas. And I went to a ranch with a whole bunch of just kind of guys that I wasn't really too familiar with, but I knew of. And, we did a lot of fun activities up there, some team bonding, and got to be pretty open with some people and get to know them really well, which is great, and just build each other up. And the Saturday that I was gone was my birthday, so I actually had a birthday with a bunch of people I didn't know, which was a first for me. And so this weekend is very refreshing. It was a lot of new experiences and a lot of really good ones. So I was very, very grateful for the weekend. I can't really get upset. You're eating ice cream. That's phenomenal. I love ice cream. So what would be like your top pick flavor if you kind of get a little bit of what I'm saying here? You know what I mean? And while you're kind of deciding if you would love to share your favorite type of ice cream, I did want to point out that Call of Cthulhu does take place in the 1920s of America. They created a fictional area of Arkham in Massachusetts that's kind of away from Boston, and a lot of characters kind of get placed around there. And so the 1924 era is typical for Call of Cthulhu adventures, especially having a character who is a veteran of the First World War. That's a really, really good background to have for your investigator. So your characters in these games are known as investigators. And drowning your memories in liquor and sleeping pills, you kind of create a little bit of those like tragic backstory stuff, which is always really good. Which superhero is your fave in Marvel? That's a good question. That is a very good question. You got me. That stumped me pretty good. Okay, I would have to say, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, my favorite character would probably have to be Spider-Man. I think Tom Holland's doing a really, really good Spider-Man, in my personal opinion. I would say in the grand scope of Marvel heroes, I may have to go with either the Punisher or Wolverine, personally. So, that's kind of like my good there. I'm glad the retreat was fun. Thanks. Yeah, that was awesome. I enjoyed it. Cookies and Cream? Cookies and Cream is phenomenal. That's a classic. That is a classic. Let's see here. If I am mad, it is a mercy. May the gods pity the man who in his callousness can remain sane to the hideous end. Howard Philip Lovecraft. Punisher is one of the coldest characters, absolutely. Also, happy birthday. Nobody, thank you. Thank you so much for the happy birthday. I appreciate it. All in the 100 bits. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful, and I appreciate the birthday wishes. A really, really fun part of Call of Cthulhu as a tabletop game is the sanity function. Now, Melinda, thank you for the happy birthday as well. I appreciate it. So, with the grand scope of Howard Philip Lovecraft, it's a fun little design that they have of him. The sanity function, I don't really know if they have a... Yeah. So, if you have like a Call of Cthulhu character sheet, this is a mock character sheet, right? On that character sheet, you have a little checklist called your sanity. Now, as you investigate the horrors of the game, you interact with the macabre, such as all of this gross, disgusting looking, filth that we kind of see all around us. This is not good stuff for our poor little veteran soldier. And also, the Lovecraftian mythos contains a lot of monsters. And so as your investigator encounters those monsters, your mind starts to recognize that the world that you know is not really what you thought. And so it starts to drive you insane. So the game has a double-edged sword. The more knowledge that you get into the game, the more insane you get. And in Call of Cthulhu, your character can disappear in one of two ways. You can either die, because it's not really a combat-related system, and so it's very common for a creature to just outright slaughter you, or your character becomes so insane that he has to be she has to be institutionalized. And so, what a fun little quirky system where you get to start to play as a character whose sanity is beginning to degrade, right? And so that's a really, really fun. So we've countered darkness. We must light up some items in order to interact with them. So we have to grab this hurricane lamp in order to do so, in which we start to see these boxes, and we can find a pair of bolt cutters. Woo-hoo. Oh, yeah. By the way, can I ask you something? You absolutely may ask me something. Is there a sprint feature? Whoa. What was that? Okay. Interesting. Flip. Push. Oh, you gotta press it. Do you need logo, overlays, or anything like that for your channel? I'm not entirely looking for anything just at the present moment. Not saying that I don't. I don't know if I've gotten to the point here at the Paladin's Keep, if that's like the end-all be-all to the channel. That's a really good question. Is that something that you do? Is that something I can grab? Yeah, I do. Okay. Well, then I'd be interested in seeing what you're capable of doing, and I will have to determine if it's something that I can financially support. And so I don't like to just say flat out no, but I do like to keep conversations open. So what would be a decent way of getting in contact with you?
Don't fight.
Run. L2 is run. Okay, so I don't have... Oh, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There is a dark voice whispering in my ear, and I don't like it. Run, 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 run. No problem. Open the door. Yeah, look at that Cthulhu-y stuff.
Everything has already been written.
Got a bunch of faceless people.
But perhaps you will attempt to change your destiny.
Unlikely. Yeah, so what would be a decent way of getting in contact with you? Interesting. Yeah, good boy. Where can I send you my portfolio? You know what? Here, this is what we'll do. Here's my socials. It leads to my Twitter, my Discord, my Instagram. You feel free to choose one, and we'll go from there. I keep a active monitor on all Twitter, Discord. So Twitter and Discord seems to be a good route. You can go ahead and either do it through Twitter, do it through Discord. I keep an active look at both. So we'll play around with it and we'll see what we can do. I do not want to drink that drink. That is not what I want to do. I don't want to drinky the drink. I do know that we need to start... We need to start getting ready to do... Yeah, we just need to do an overall, just kind of look around the room. So that's what we're going to do. So, as you can see, we have Edward Pierce. We're a private investigator. That tends to be a very typical background in Call of Cthulhu. In fact, if I go to the Keeper's Rulebook and I open it up to the page of, I believe, backgrounds, which is character creation, sample occupations, which would be page 40. This is kind of like, this is not the player's hand guide, by the way. This is the Keeper's hand guide. So it doesn't have all of them. But, for example, private investigator, one of the very first that you can see on here, gives me skill. If I were to be playing the game like on the table, I would have a photography skill, a disguise skill, the skill of law, library use. I could choose an interpersonal skill of either charm, fast talk, which is kind of like lying to people, intimidate and persuade, psychology, that's kind of like your ability to determine if someone's lying to you or something like that, spot hidden, and any other skill, which could be like computer use, locksmith, or firearms. You have a decent credit rating, so like professionally you look like you make a decent amount of money, or you can be somewhat poor if you're kind of down on your luck. And it does give you some occupational skill points to add as well that are based on some of your other stats, so you can kind of play around with some of your starting skills. They're very well balanced, in my opinion.
Married
starting
woman runs off with her girlfriend. The husband couldn't understand it.
So, we have a closed case, which is for Mr. Pierce. The husband never understood that his wife had left him. He kept on calling me weeks after the investigation had been closed. What a shame. I could not imagine what it would be like if my wife had run out on me. I love my wife very much. Granted, I would never do anything to betray my wife in that manner. So, certificate of membership from Wentworth Agency, United States Detective Agency of Boston, Massachusetts.
Top-notch cases.
Oh, no, that's not good. Sent you my portfolio on your Discord. Well, thank you. When I get an opportunity, I will go ahead and take a look. It's probably going to be after the stream, so I do apologize for the delay, and I hope I can get some understanding in that capacity from you as well.
I used to be an avid reader.
An avid reader. We used to be. What kind of books do we got here? I don't think I can read any of these. We have some volumes. Does that say California? California to Alaska? It's a weird novel of books. It's like the entire, West Coast. Uh-oh.
Lost Battalion.
The Lost Battalion.
Holding your position and obeying orders.
Ooh.
That isn't courage.
That's a good question. That's a very good question. So it looks like the Lost Battalion's job was at one point to hold a vital position, and we're told to not retreat. Now that's a good question, because it's like, if your life's on the line, is it worth... You kind of look at the idea like the Battle of Thermopylae. Think of the movie 300, right? The Spartan soldiers knew they were going to be outnumbered. They knew that they were probably going to be they were going to be going there to die. But the idea is it courageous to stand up in the face of insurmountable odds if you knew that what you were doing would make a greater impact on the world? Maybe for your families, your wives, your children. It's a good question.
Been too long since I've...
Some people might argue that it doesn't, because you should live to fight another day. Some people might argue in the other way. Life is a philosophical conundrum.
I wonder why I
Sleeping
still
pills.
take these things.
The doctors prescribed them when I returned from the war. They swore that they would put an end to the nightmares, but for a while now their effect has been wearing off. Okay, so we suffer from some form of post-traumatic stress disorder, which is not uncommon for people that serve in wars. And I couldn't imagine even, especially like the First World War, or the Second World War, to be any of the two world wars would have been ridiculous.
Natural sciences, linguistics,
archaeology. So this guy's somewhat studied, or at least he uses these as reference. So he's just got a good reference pool.
I should get rid of all this stuff.
Looks like connecting cases. So probably a case he's working on, trying to connect the dots for something that was involving Boston. Not really sure what he's got going on there.
Good old story.
Case
of black
solved. All right. So, bar owner who hired me didn't like the way that I closed this case. But when you're already outside the law, there's not a lot one can do against a private detective who's got proof against you. Dang. So, our client was the one that we ended up turning in. What a shame. Okay, so, we have quite a challenge ahead of us. There's an achievement I have not unlocked that I'm going to attempt to unlock in this playthrough, in which I can't drink a single thing of alcohol. So, I have to click don't drink, because I don't want to drink the alcohol.
Been a while since I jotted down something.
That's my job. It's my responsibility. We're not getting drunk. We're going to live a sober life. Okay, so we have the Pierce Investigation Agency. Grab your steak, buddy. Grab it. Go get it. He knows when I'm streaming. He knows when I'm talking. He likes to be the center of attention. Get your snake. Get your snake. Good boy. Get it. Yeah. Okay. Bring it over here. Or not. That's cool too. Yeah. Good boy. So the Pierce Investigation Agency, this is in the 20th of October, 1924. The doctor can well repeat to me that I no longer need my remedy to keep my memories at bay. But I know that if I stop, the memories will return. One of these mornings, I probably won't even wake up. Despite the treatment, I again hear voices in my dreams, but they are different, unknown. They seem to surface from unfathomable and ancient depths. What nameless creature is calling me? Cthulhu. That's Cthulhu. Cthulhu's calling him. Now, the Call of Cthulhu, while it is a game, and while it is a video game, as you can see, it was originally created as a short story written by H.P. Lovecraft. I have the entire H.P. Lovecraft short stories collection just off to my left here, but I don't want to go grab it. But I will give you a brief synopsis of the Call of Cthulhu story. So, the Call of Cthulhu is a short story, is a series of interconnected tales that talks about a series of different types of individuals who have encounters with the slumbering god Cthulhu. Cthulhu is known as an outer god or an elder god? I think he's an outer god. It's a good question. We have to know our lore. Cosmic entity. He's a great old one. Sorry. So great old ones. There's outer gods, and then there's elder gods, I believe, and then there's great old ones. So he is considered a great old one, and he sleeps beneath the depths. So it's three tales that talk about three individuals during their interactions with this great old one, as he calls out to them, normally in their dreams, in different and varying ways. So, as it seems, we are the next targeted victim of Cthulhu's dangerous call. But we do have our skill points. So we will have some skill points that we'll be able to add here in a moment. We're going to look at our sanity. So here's our current sanity. As we unlock different conditions, that's going to affect our sanity meter on the right. Currently, we only have a mental trauma. That mental trauma is that Edward Pierce is a veteran of the First World War, where he took a part of the Meuse-Argonne offensive. So, the Meuse-Argonne offensive. We'll see if that's actually historically accurate. It looks like it is, in which the Meuse-Argonne offensive was the largest operation of the American Expeditionary Forces in World War I, with over 1 million American soldiers participating, in which it was also the deadliest campaign in American history, resulting in over 26,000 soldiers being killed in action and 120,000 total casualties. So I imagine that maybe it was the most deadly at the time. I don't know if maybe that would get changed by D-Day. I'm sure D-Day, I imagine D-Day is probably a lot more deadly in that standpoint. So it looks like he was a part of a pretty brutal campaign, and you can't really blame him for that. So he's one of the few survivors of the Lost Battalion, American units that suffered heavy losses from enemy and allied artillery fire. That was a problem in World War I, in which it was very difficult in terms of your collateral, because the trenches, there was a lot of trench fighting, and so trenches you would move up to the next trench and then maybe get pushed back, and so artillery's trying to gauge for it, and there wasn't assurance. It was a rough go. Forced to hold their position for several days and surrounded by the bodies of their fallen comrades without food or medical supplies, the soldiers were considered as lost by their fellow countrymen. Pierce is traumatized by these events. He consumes sleeping pills and liquor to ward off the nightmares that haunt him, which is fair. You'd imagine that. But we have a stable sanity despite that. Now we go to Darkwater. Darkwater is going to be the place that we head to. So we just know a little bit about our personal private investigations agency. So we contracted to the Wentworth Detective Agency. After the Great War, I decided to set up in Boston, where there is no lack of work for guys like me. One small-time case follows the other. Adultery, settled scores, disappearances that are not actually disappearances, probably like runaways and things like that, fake deaths. The old office couch is less comfortable than a real bed, and I probably should have gotten rid of these empty bottles, but this place is mine for the moment. And we have our inventory, in which we have some knowledge and a flask. Or maybe that was a lighter. I don't know. I'm not paying attention. Do we have points to add? I think we should, right? I thought we start out with some points. Maybe not yet. Okay, maybe not yet. We're gonna touch that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I'm listening.
Are you Edward Pierce?
Oh, Mrs. Paladin has just arrived. We're going to pause it real quick because Mrs. Paladin has just arrived home. I'm going to go say hello to my wife, whom I love very much, and I will be right back, and I will see you guys in just a moment. And we're back. All right.
That's correct.
Hello, Mr. Pierce. I'm Lucy Sherifield, in charge of investigators over at Wentwood. I'm calling because of a problem with your file. A fire has destroyed some of our documents.
Is that right?
I'm so very sorry. But
Oh yeah, this is where we get to add our starting skills. Okay, so starting skills. Obviously, we have a lot of different options that we can go ahead and put here for some of the upgrades. I know that this is the only chance in which we get to put any upgrades into occultism and medicine, I believe, because the rest we can only obtain by like acquiring things that are teaching us in the occult or in medicine. So we have 8 character points available. We could spend 6 of them across these two if we so wished. Okay, we have a really good investigation, really good strength, so we kind of don't want to touch those. We're gonna go ahead and do 2 in medicine, so we're gonna upgrade that. And then spot hidden, we can move up. Okay, so it does look like I do have a slight guide in terms of helping me with the skill setup. So it looks like preferably we're going to go with occultism because it will be very useful, and then we're going to do spot hidden. So we have 3 points that we've just have bumped up. So we're going to go ahead and validate that and move forward with that that movement. So that's going to be the decision that we make, and we're gonna live with that.
May I raise a sensitive question?
No, you may not.
What's wrong?
As you know, know, we wish to closely monitor the progress of our contractors. And it would seem you've been accepting fewer new cases.
Work is scarce.
Mr. Pierce, you know as well as I do, there's never been more investigative work than now.
But are those cases worth it?
They're worth not losing your license. Show yourself worthy of the Wentworth Detective Agency, and we might keep you on the payroll. Mr. Pierce, are you still...
I'm coming.
We have a potential client on our hands.
Sir, I came here on the advice of a person whom I hold in high esteem, and I must say that I expected anything but a drunkard's lair.
How rude. I didn't need that from him.
You're free to leave anytime, sir.
Do you know to whom you speak?
Stephen Webster, industrialist and art collector.
Yes, he
All
does.
of Boston knows you.
Tell me, Mr. Pierce, are you capable of handling a new case, or are you simply a deadbeat inebriate?
If you come to me,
Listen here, buddy.
it means
That's not cool.
Nobody believes me. They take me for an old fool. Sarah, my little girl, she is dead. Even you must know of her. She was Sarah Hawkins.
The painter. Yes, everyone knows her work.
The police accuse her of killing her family.
Go
They
grab
all
myself
died in the
real
fire.
fast while
Sarah,
we're listening to
her
some
husband,
conversation.
and Simon, my grandson.
I can't do anything for a woman who is already dead.
Find out the truth.
Just get to bring
They
my
say
mints
she
over
was
here.
mad, but I know that's a
good
lie.
stuff.
She would never have done such a thing.
But if you have no proof,
I've brought all that I have. Look. I want you to look carefully at this painting. Tell me all the assumptions that come to mind.
what am I supposed to find?
Tell me if this is the work of madness. Or if, on the contrary, you manage to detect some logic, a rationality to follow so that I may understand it.
Is that all you want from me?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll look at your picture.
Okay,
That's all you've got?
so
The painting?
fun fact
I
about
placed
Call
a
of
file on your
Cthulhu.
desk. It
There is a
contains
story
everything I
that
have on
H.P.
my
Lovecraft
head.
writes called the Pickman's Model. And the Pickman's Model is a story about a painter who paints very horrific paintings that begin to drive people insane when they view them. And a lot of people think that these paintings are derived from some hell-bent and distorted mentality, but it turns out they're just recreations of things that he's seen. And so it becomes like a really dark and twisted reality. So when he kind of asks that, it does poke at that idea of like, is this truly something that's insane, or are we looking at something that is indicative of reason? And that's kind of the nature of the Lovecraftian mythos. So we're going to examine the Hawkins file.
A warehouse on Darkwood. Some sketches of the Hawkins family.
Right.
Rather thin.
So we do know that... Let's just see if there's anything on the backside. No. There's a shipping label. Some of it's unreadable, but I can make out part of the address. Warehouse 36 in Darkwater. The police report, it says that the fire started in the dining room and claimed the whole family. The police decided on a domestic accident, but they nevertheless insisted on Sarah Hawkins' mental frailty. Why? There was a press cutting, an article about the marriage of Sarah and Charles Hawkins, a businessman from the island of Darkwater. They live a recluse life with their only son, Simon. Okay, not a lot to go off of. You probably heard my cat, a little poos. So I just want to be a little bit more vocal. And we can examine this painting.
Its strange beauty isn't enough to
New
hide the
occult element, the
dread
art of Sarah
potential.
Hawkins.
So, Mr. Pierce, what do you make of these?
We're going to
elements?
consult our diary. Can we? We'll figure it out. Something's not right with this story.
Her husband was a big deal on the island. But the police are sticking to the accident theory. Though they mentioned Sarah's mental state was fragile. I believe you are right, sir. This case is not as simple as it appears.
I am aware of that. I believe there is more to this case than just an accident.
Right. Read about her mental fragility in the police report?
You must tell me if what the police suggest about the mental state of your daughter is true.
No. Sarah had visions. Everyone knew that. She never would have hurt a fly. She only thought she saw things.
Saw things? What do you mean by that?
I never knew what she meant by that. My daughter was an enigmatic figure, Mr. Pierce. You must find out the truth about her life and death.
Right. Where did she live?
Darkwater. Never heard of the place. Where is that?
It's a small, remote island off the coast of Boston. Sarah lived there with her son and her husband.
I suppose you want to ship me off there.
Darkwater holds the secret regarding my daughter, Mr. Pierce. You must uncover it.
All right, and we can say... he's not asking the wrong guy. He's asking the right guy. Come on. We'll find out about Warehouse 36.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's last painting.
And you think your daughter could have been the sender?
That is what you must find out. Go to Darkwater. Find Warehouse 36.
You're asking the wrong guy. We'll just say it. We'll say not an art critic. We'll just say it to get the dialogue.
I guess
we
you're not
both
as
know.
clever as you
He's
think.
asking the right guy.
The painting is linked to this case, can't you see? You must find the meaning behind all this.
The sender's label.
That's right.
And you...
Go to...
Yeah.
I think I'm beginning to understand.
I'm willing to do anything for my daughter to recover her honor.
Quiet down. I'm on your side. Let's sum things up. An artist dies with her family in a house fire. Your only clue is a sort of promontory painting sent from Darkwater right before her death.
Correct. And the rumors about her supposed folly.
Which you don't totally deny.
Find that warehouse. Find out the truth regarding Sarah Hawkins' death. You'll be handsomely compensated.
All right. I'll take the case. I'll go to Darkwater and look into the death of your daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. I didn't expect any less coming from a man in your situation.
Something's queer. But it's not like I have a choice.
Okay, we have to leave for Darkwater.
Darkwater.
Real quick, though, we're going to look at our inhabitants. So we do have a few people here. We have Stephen Webster, age 63, who is occupied as a businessman, a wealthy businessman who is well respected in Boston. Stephen Webster came to see me in order that I investigate the death of his only daughter, Sarah Hawkins. The man accepts neither refusals nor inconvenient truths. He is ready to do anything to prove that his daughter was not mad. Then we have Charles Hawkins, age 41, who's a ship owner, who's a local celebrity on Darkwater Island, the heir of a ship owner family. He used to travel a lot. He met Sarah Hawkins during a trip in Paris. They fell in love, got married, and Hawkins took her to the remote island of Darkwater. They had a child named Simon and lived a very secretive life. Then you have Sarah, who's a painter, age 33, a painter known for her tortured artistic universe. She was worshipped for the strangeness of her work and the rarity of her public appearances. I seem to remember that she once said, "I paint what my dreams whisper to me." Her marriage to Charles Hawkins years ago surprised high society columnists. A wealthy Boston heiress, known for her party-going, chooses to follow her new husband and live as a recluse on the island of Darkwater. She disappeared from the front pages of newspapers, and nobody heard any more about her. Even her death in a fire remained a secret. Only her father, Stephen Webster, continues to seek the truth. Oh, and it's recluse, not recluse. I just checked to see if I was mispronouncing that. So she's a recluse. Then we have Simon, who's 11, who's a schoolboy, only son of Sarah and Charles. He died in the fire. That sucks. It's a shame. So, this is what we got from our investigation skill. Intuitive and visionary artist for some, overpriced imposter for others. Sarah Hawkins leaves nobody indifferent. This mysterious and reserved painter offers strange images with violent colors and wild strokes to the world. If her paintings are a testimony to her vision of the world, then the world of Sarah Hawkins is a portal open to other dimensions. Extract from the notebook of Edward Pierce, private detective. Chapter 1, we have a painting which depicts a monstrous silhouette threatening a woman and child. That could be Sarah and Simon. Flames can be made out in the background. Stephen Webster, the father of Sarah Hawkins, thinks that it is linked to the death of his daughter. What if Sarah Hawkins is trying to explain that this monster is what started the fire? This monster that killed her and her son. That would be,
I think I've got a book on the North Atlantic. I'll no doubt find some information on this island in there.
So we do have a medicinal book. So The Learning of Medicine, Volume 1. It's a dense work aimed at interns and young practitioners. The first volume lists all the illnesses known in the civilized world, and it details the symptoms and suitable treatments. So now our medicine skill has gone up by 1. And what I mean by that is not that it went up by 1 on the 2 out of 5, but it went up by 1 point. So we are closer to hitting that stage 3, which is nice. So, you know, we're just doing what we can do. Good stuff. Yeah, let me tell you what the percentage points mean, by the way. As a tabletop game, Call of Cthulhu is played using a variety of different types of dice, which is most predominantly done through a D100. So a D100 has a 10s-sided dice and then a 1s-sided dice, numbered 0 through 9, and the other one numbered 10 through 00, respectively. And the idea behind this dice is you roll it, and on a scale of 0, it's considered on a scale of 0 to 100, in which you try to roll below the percentage of your skill. So if we have a percentage of 40% in investigation, every time we roll an investigation skill, we want to hit 40 and below. That's the goal. Golf score, right? Golf score. That's the aim of the game. So these aren't technically great skills on the actual tabletop. They're actually pretty decent. They're not bad. 40% is not terrible. Not at the start, but once you start getting into the game, you definitely don't want that. You want those skills going up. And we just gained another point. So we'll hold on to that for now and just kind of spend it as we feel necessary. So, you know, we'll take it as we're going. Okay. So, Pierce took the Hawkins case. The cursed artist is accused of having caused the fire that killed her and her family. As the only clue, she left her father a disturbing painting. On the shipping label, an address, a warehouse set on the docks of the island of Darkwater. The place seems to be the starting point for Pierce's investigation. And so we enter the madness. Focus Home Interactive presents We're About to Get a Title Card. We love a good old intro game title card. A game by Cyanide Studio.
Almost there.
James Fitzroy. The Call of Cthulhu. Title card. With a trademark. We love a good old trademark. Alright, we found the Scylla. It looks crashed. It is crashed. We have a lighthouse. We have a small light. There's a fog. That's never good.
Stay on board. There's guys coming to unload. Welcome to Darkwater Island, Mr. Pierce.
Thank you.
Why, thank you, Captain Fitzroy.
So, what wind brought you?
A nice little
Does the
chat room real
Hawkins
quick.
case mean anything to you?
A sad story that we would all prefer to forget. Charles Hawkins may have been a landlubber, but he was a good man.
Okay, so some of the locals like
And
him.
his wife, Sarah Hawkins.
A nice young woman, and a great painter. What a tragedy. You know what? Go have a drink at the Stranded Whale. What you need is a good pick-me-up. Mitchell may not be very welcoming, but his bar holds a surprise for you. As for me, you'll find me at the Harbor Master's office. If it's the Hawkins family that brings you here, I have a pile of documents that should interest you.
Understood. I'm going for a look around the docks.
Okay, so we begin. We're not going to talk to Fitzroy just yet. We're going to go talk to Officer Bradley. We're going to let them kind of talk a little bit just over here.
Can't you go any faster?
You've seen how old this thing is. If we force it too much, we'll break everything.
You can't do that.
But it's only a fish.
A fish? You've got no idea. Don't badmouth what you don't know, or you'll pay for it for sure.
Okay, that's enough. Step back and let us do our job.
That's no way to treat an omen.
Oh, yeah? He's gonna get us into trouble. You can't understand. You're not sailors.
So there's some
It's a
sailor
sign.
superstition going on.
There's something coming. Something real bad.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy.
They're cops. They can't understand.
Damn stupid idiots.
Forget it. Nobody listens to us anyway.
That's no way to treat an omen.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, they're going to
The
repeat.
same goes for you, sir. Move along.
These sailors get upset over nothing.
They seem to be very agitated about a dead animal.
You're telling me? These fools think that putting the whale back in the water will bring about the end of the world.
They're superstitious.
If only you knew. They only listen to Captain Fitzroy. And not always. And you. What brings you to our island?
I'm looking for this address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
I like you, so I'll be frank with you. Don't go near the place. Don't
Don't
try
tell me
to
what to
get
do.
in.
Why?
Because I told you so.
Tisk tisk.
Learn to accept some friendly advice. Now, please, allow me to do my job.
You can't understand.
Don't put that beast.
You can see that I'm busy, can't you?
You
That's
can't
no way
understand.
to
You're
treat
not
an omen.
sailors.
That's
It's a
medicine
sign.
check
The
it.
blood is just beginning to coagulate. It died a short time ago.
Okay,
Only a
that's as
specialist
recent.
would know what killed it.
That's
Alright.
no way Don't
to
put
treat
that
an
beast
omen.
back in the water,
Oh,
you
yeah.
shysters. You're crazy.
Gonna get us into trouble.
See if we can find some stuff. I think that's where Fitzroy is, because he's the harbor master. Looks like the hurricane lamp we had recently. Oh well. Or, oh, whale. Ah! I'll see it myself out, guys. It's fine. Prohibition!
Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine.
Yeah. Prohibition in American history was a time after the suffragists had been able to start getting women elected in more federal and government positions, and some of the initial votes. So these women, who were some of the first to kind of make historic ground in terms of American women in federal office. Some had been supported by groups such as, I think it was like the Union, like the Christian Temperance Union, Women's Christian Temperance Union, which was like a political organization, nonprofit, that was focused on supporting these women and getting them into office, with the idea that they would also assist in voting for prohibition, in which obviously the vote for prohibition then shortly happened. And alcohol was deemed illegal. What a time. One of my favorite cocktails actually stemmed from prohibition. So, had it not happened, I wouldn't be able to enjoy a nice South Side. Good old South Side. Look at that guy.
Hey, be careful.
That's kind of rude. Why don't we just walk up and do that? Man, we really don't like people mean mugging us.
Let's get him another drink. He's dry.
In my bar, we don't serve troublemakers.
Roy Mitchell. We're going to apologize. That was rude.
Pure instinct. I behaved like a Hun, and I sincerely apologize.
Veteran, huh?
307th Infantry Regiment.
Oh. Well, that'll be okay for now. But the war is over. Try not to forget it.
I'm here for information, not for a fight.
Says the guy that just
I prefer it
started
that
kicking
way.
people's chairs in.
Speak then. I reserve the right to answer or not.
Find out about Darkwater. Find out about why the stranded whale.
Stranded whale. I guess this bar has been here a long time.
What can I tell you? I'm a nostalgic sort of guy. The name, it reminds us of the golden age of Darkwater, when our whalers left for long months and came back sweating and stinking of the oil and flesh of the whales they'd been hunting.
It was a tough time, all the same.
Ah, but steeped in glory. We've never known such wealth since then.
Find out about Sarah Hawkins.
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. Then, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
It's true that they were. It's not speaking ill if it's true.
Her
That's
vision.
kind
Was
of
it
fair.
so terrible?
Way I see
You
it,
can't let like the idea like I'm
Truth is
just
really a question
speaking
of point of
truthfully.
view.
What do you mean by that?
What allows
you
you to
still
be
trust the
rude?
truth after a bottle of whiskey?
Fair point. It's true that they were
Her
trained.
style made her famous. How would you describe it? Tortured?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't normal. I mean, for a young woman with a child and all that. We saw them in the papers and we said to ourselves, who can paint such things? Is that how she sees the world?
So they made you feel uncomfortable.
You need to see them for yourself. Make up your own mind.
You did see one. All right, enough about Sarah Hawkins.
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
Find out. No
I didn't
prohibition.
expect to find alcohol on this island. What's the source of this miracle?
You mean who? Our source of supply wouldn't like me to betray them to the first comer.
I'll tell nobody.
She'd know it anyway. Anything else?
Probably that girl in the corner. I'm looking for Warehouse
You
36.
know where this place is? Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
The Hawkins warehouse. I see, yeah. If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams.
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
Nah, we're good. We're not drinking.
That'll be all for now.
No drinking. Can we talk to the student and apologize to him? Because we were really, really rude. Asylum. There's an asylum here. I forgot about that. I played this game before, but I don't remember. Who's this dude?
Nightmares.
can hear things and voices
Algernon
will
Drake.
follow its reader and appear at various locations, gifted with
Liber
its own
10B.
consciousness.
Prologue at
Until
the
it
middle of the
finds a
book.
new reader.
Shit, that guy's kind of crazy. Hey, what's up, lady? How you doing?
What you looking at, stranger?
What does a woman like you do in a place like this?
Clientele is predominantly male.
Tell me something I don't know.
I meant nothing by it. I'm just wondering what a woman like you is doing in this.
Why is he gonna say everything so
And
condescending?
I'm wondering what could be going through the head of the chump who
I
goes
wonder
to
what
disturb
a
her.
woman.
Let me drink.
Come on, buddy.
Stranger.
The guy in the back kind of reminds me of Arthur Shelby from Peaky Blinders. Just a bit. Okay, now we go talk to Fitzroy. Captain Fitzroy for $12. The Hawkins for... Is that $60? $68? Dang. Winchester. Oh, maybe these are tabs. Maybe these are open tabs. That could be it. Set up to Fitzroy. Let's kind of walk around a little bit. See if we can find anything. Right? We're investigating. Already adding some of the spooky tales in here. No problem there. You know, we'll deal with it.
I wonder what Captain Fitzroy has got to say.
I like how we're just rummaging through his stuff right in front of him. Captain, the terms of our agreement are clear. Keep your men under control. You cannot afford to provoke us. No need to answer this message. Just make your payment to the carrier. Cat. Cat's the woman that we met.
Broken. This place seems half abandoned.
Indeed it does.
Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover.
A little old bathroom.
This blackboard hasn't been used in a long
Maritime Bank. Sperm whale. Woo woo.
The Scylla. It finished up beached at the entrance to the harbor.
That is true. The Learning of Medicine, Volume 2. Second volume teaches ethics and good practice to medical staff. Good stuff. We do love ourselves some medical books. Makes us nice and happy. All the good stuff. Yeah.
This man and Fitzroy could be twins.
Photograph of Captain Fitzroy. A man who looks like Captain Fitzroy is posing on the bridge of a ship. He has a wooden leg.
What a macabre souvenir.
That is the wooden leg. Why are all the flame lights like all green and stuff? Hello, Fitzroy.
I brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck.
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins. That's all I'll get from them.
Okay, only a few dates are still legible. 1890, 1907, and a partial date. The rest of the document is blacked out. Who would want this information to be hidden? What? Where'd he go? Hey. Why don't you have your peg leg, bro?
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights at the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
Alright. Let's see here. Your documents are unreadable.
Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
What did Charles Hawkins really do for a living?
I know that Charles Hawkins was descended from a family of ship owners, and the island's fishing industry was hit badly.
Indeed, we specialized in whaling, but no whalers went out to sea after the miraculous catch of 1847.
So where did the Hawkins family get its money?
Well, from what Charles inherited, I presume. Although, these dates on the manifests could indicate that he had contracts of another kind.
With whom, I wonder?
Let's talk about Darkwater. Who is Cat?
I found a threatening letter, signed by a certain Cat.
What? I don't mind you visiting my harbor master's office, but I'd prefer if you didn't go through my affairs.
Are you being blackmailed?
Not exactly, no. That shyster wants to make us pay protection money.
With any success?
I wouldn't say that, but she terrifies my men as much as her own.
Can you not do anything to stop her?
Don't you worry about that.
I saw the killer whale on the wharf.
I'm just back from the wharves. The dead killer whale is unsettling the sailors.
Ah, yes. Us men of the sea are superstitious folk.
What could have killed it?
Killer whales don't have many known predators.
That's true. And normally, they're not found around here. But, you're gonna take me for a fool.
Give it a try.
Have you heard about the depths? Trenches that plunge into the earth and that shelter creatures unlike any other.
You're talking about mythology.
Ha! Indeed, you're right.
Why are they putting it back into the sea?
The police took the decision to put the killer whale back into the sea.
You've got to understand them. They didn't know what to do with it.
I think that was a mistake. Who says that whatever caused those wounds is no longer in these waters?
You think we should have kept it?
To look into the real cause of its death, at least.
Return. The photograph looks strangely like you.
I was looking at your photograph. The one of the man in front of the boat.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
Return. And we'll ask
I'm
about
looking
Warehouse
for
36.
Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse. I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
No. Uh-oh. What are these guys doing? You talk to them. What's up, guys? How you guys doing? You guys want to go? Want to fight?
That's no way to treat an omen.
Oh, yeah? He's gonna get us into trouble.
Alright, we're gonna do a little bit of some investigation. You know what I mean? A little bit of some tomfoolery. Yes.
There. Hello, old friend.
A bottle of liqueur. Aha! Scribbled note. Cat knows about the thefts from her stock of liquor. She'll soon find out who it is, and I wouldn't like to be in his shoes.
Somebody's stealing from the bootlegger's stock of liquor.
Like us. Just like us. Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o. Look at this. We have a guy with his face all mangled and a harpoon. Saint Brendan, the navigator, from 484 to 577.
St. Brendan, patron saint of sailors and travelers.
Yeah.
Desecrated. I can't even say which language it's written in.
Well, so it has been desecrated. We know that. You have 2 points that we can give. 2 points. Let's go 1 in psychology, 1 in eloquence. Let's do that. Darkwater, we have Roy Mitchell, owner of the Stranded Whale Bar. Prohibition has no hold on the stranded whale. Sailors come to seek some comfort. Mitchell's whiskey. The man therefore knows more than anyone the secrets and rumors that the inhabitants of the island exchange after a few glasses. Mitchell is devoted to the golden age of whale hunting, and if the numerous trophies that decorate his establishment are anything to go by, the man will talk freely on this subject, on which he is so keen. But he will be far less enthusiastic if one was to inquire about his source of liquor. And Captain James Fitzroy. He's the captain of the Charybdis, the only boat that still sails between Darkwater and Boston. His base is the harbor master's office, from where he misses nothing that happens on the island. The inhabitants of Darkwater respect him. The bootleggers despise him. He offered to help me in my investigation. Places, we have the port and the stranded whale. The entrance to the port of the Darkwater, one still passes in front of the shell of the Scylla, the last whaling ship to have brought back a catch. Sailors wander the docks looking for some small job for the day. A gang of bootleggers set itself up there and is gnawing away the territory of Captain Fitzroy, the last sailor to own a boat capable of making the round trip between the island and the mainland. Here, the golden age of whale hunting is but a distant memory. And the Stranded Whale, a bar where liquor is served with total impunity. It's the last thing I expected to find when I arrived on this island. The Stranded Whale, as is its name, and it's managed with an iron hand by the owner, a certain Mitchell. He does not tolerate troublemakers, and he fiercely protects the identity of his supplier. All these inhabitants of the area seem to go there, and even I saw what looks to be a truce between the bootleggers and the sailors. In the occult, St. Brendan, does the patron saint of whales and whalers still protect the sailors of Darkwater? Visibly, there were other gods before St. Brendan, and their worshippers do not seem to be of this opinion. The locals still worship the old saint, but a mark was made on the statue by another cult. Uh-oh. Photograph the manifests. Yeah. And some other stuff. So, let's close that door. There we go. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Oh, we can talk.
You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
Oh, they're drunk.
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
I just arrived. I never have done such a thing.
I respect your beliefs.
Our beliefs? You mean you don't believe in God?
That's irrelevant.
That's what you think.
There's you, our beloved statue, and then those 2 bozos behind us. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue.
Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us.
What brings you to Darkwater?
That statue represents
Saint
your local
Brendan.
saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly?
did not worship
You wouldn't be
outside of the
looking
mainland.
down at us like all townspeople do.
St. Brendan. He protected whalers and fishermen like us. Until those assholes defaced him.
Is this where you live?
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to abandon it.
So you don't have any
Isn't
work?
it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station shut down, ain't a lot of jobs left around here.
So we drink.
Uh-oh. Fix. What is happening? Tried updating quick little setting, and it decided to flip my whole camera all over the place. And that is why you do not play with things when you don't need to. Lesson learned, Mr. Paladin. Lesson learned. Return. Who are these guys?
Two
keeping
guys
guard?
behind you. What are they guarding?
The warehouse.
Bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by drunken sailors.
If only they would kill each other.
Who is Cat?
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain Fitzroy?
Hold on just a minute. We didn't tell you a thing.
Nothing at all.
Find out about the island, right? I think we already did. Yep.
I've
All right,
taken
we-
enough of your time.
We'll see you later.
Come on, you could tell me.
No, if it gets out, I'll have serious...
How could you be dumb enough to leave the entrance to the warehouses unguarded?
Keep your voice down. Why not go and shout at the cat while you're at it? I don't want to end up with her little knife under my throat.
It's a stiletto, you idiot. And with that smell on your breath, I don't give you much chance anyway.
Let's go ahead. And before we give him a talk, let's talk to this police officer guy up here. Let's talk to this dude. Let's see what's going on here. What's up, buddy?
Where do you think you're going?
Hi, Officer Andrews. I'm not getting into this.
I'm not
warehouse.
here to hinder your work, officer. Edward Pierce, private detective.
Sorry, we're all a little on edge today. What are you doing here?
I'm investigating the death of the Hawkins family.
Darn it. Why do you want to drag up all that stuff again?
My investigation has led me to this warehouse.
That case was closed months ago.
What do you know?
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins family?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at their place.
The whole mansion went up in flames.
Don't get it into your head to go wandering around up there. It's dangerous.
What do you mean by that?
The only one left there is old Silas, and the accident has affected him badly. He can be unpredictable, especially if a stranger starts poking around the property.
Is he a danger to the public?
No, he's in his own home. Do yourself a favor. Leave him well alone.
Okay. Alright, now let's go talk to these bums.
Come on, you could tell me. Who's this guy?
No idea. You better keep... What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaks. Go die of thirst, the lot of you. It'll stink less.
Oh. This passage leads to the Hawkins warehouse.
I've got to enter the Hawkins warehouse. I guess it's going to be complicated.
No, it's very simple, in fact. Fuck off.
Oh,
I don't give a
indeed.
damn about your racket. I just want to get into this warehouse.
And we don't give a damn about you. Whatever your reason for wanting inside, there's nothing we can do for you.
Let's keep their activities. Is it you who defaced the statue?
I went to see the statue of St. Brendan.
What makes you think we did it?
We're bootleggers, not savages.
Who do you think defaced the statue?
What do I know? They could have done it by themselves.
The sailors.
Who else, in your opinion? And who's interested?
You work for Cat.
Cat. She's your boss.
What? You listen through keyholes.
She's the boss, yeah. She says who goes in or not.
Shut up, you dummy. You wanted to know that you also talk too much.
She must be quite intimidating if she can make two men like you tremble.
She redid the smile at the last one who wanted to get in.
I hope he had a good dentist.
No, you don't understand. She really cut him a new smile.
But he only smiles with the left cheek.
You really are scared.
She sounds frightening, your boss.
And she doesn't like to be talked about behind her back.
Who does this belong to?
So, who are you?
Are you stupid or are you doing it on purpose?
Everybody knows us on Darkwater.
I've just arrived.
Let's just say we're standing guard for the owner of the site. And we let no one enter her property.
Remind me what you're doing here.
What are you guarding, exactly?
Listen, bonehead, we already told you that we're guarding our boss's turf.
Okay. I've got proof that you're stealing from your
What
boss.
will Kat say when she finds out that it's you who are filching stock?
You've got no proof.
That's true. Apart from this little note from your friend here.
You didn't throw it away?
I couldn't know that someone was gonna force the lock.
What a So, what is it you want?
Let me in.
To get into the Hawkins warehouse.
That's all. Go on, then. And
Simple.
we never want to see your rat snout again.
I just want in, dude. Okay, so it looks like there is also something that we can find. And it's not by going this way, but that was fun. There is a mural that we are looking for, and that mural is obtained by heading down this way. So, we are going to, maybe we can talk to Kat and be like, oh, hey, by the way, you got people filching some stock. Maybe we can just, like, you know, kind of snitch on them a little bit, you know?
The miraculous catch.
The shanty.
Apparently, the most significant event of the last
The Scylla
80
returns to
years.
port to save Darkwater from famine. We'd given up hope. The crew of the Scylla, or what remains of it, returned to Darkwater port late on Tuesday afternoon. The locals immediately rushed upon the docks to find... rushed to the docks to welcome the last whaling ship on the island. People were amazed at the sight of the unbelievable catch the brave vessel had on board. Of a size that went beyond what the formidable toothed whales, the cetacean that is already being called the miraculous catch covered the whole deck, and parts of it were hanging over the side of the ship. The surviving sailors told a frightening account of their perilous catch, but also of its meat, unmatched in its quality, plentifully nutritious benefits. But there is no doubt that the immense size of this whale will allow numerous inhabitants of Darkwater to feed themselves, bringing an end to the famine from which part of the island was suffering. Mr. Marks is putting his warehouse up for rent from June for fishing, workshop, or storage activities. You can contact him via your favorite newspaper or visit him on the docks. To celebrate the return of our brave whalers, all the staff of the Stranded Whale invite you to an exceptional and free tasting event. Come with your family or with friends to taste the miraculous catch. Each person will leave with a bottle of oil, so don't hesitate. Interesting.
What? Another break? I told you to beat it.
Okay, well, you know, she doesn't want to know. Her loss. What do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do with a drunken sailor? Hey, buddy.
You saw what happened with those sailors. Don't hang around here unless you want trouble with the bootleggers.
You're not scared of the boss.
I've seen the kind of messages their boss sends. You're not scared of her.
Of course I am. Everyone's scared of that woman. She's not interested in small fry like me. You, on the other hand, nose around too much, you'll have dealings with her.
What are bootleggers doing?
This warehouse looks abandoned. Why does it interest them so much?
No doubt a question of territory, but I ain't asking. You want to know more, go ask the captain.
Good. Thank you.
Alright.
I shall take my leave.
Let's go ask the captain.
You're back again. What can I do for you?
Bootleggers have blocked access to the warehouses.
Apparently, the bootleggers don't want anyone hanging around the warehouses.
They're part of the private property I mentioned earlier.
And yet the place looks abandoned. Why guard the entrance?
As a precaution, I suppose. All the warehouses are more or less interconnected by old sewers.
You mean that there's a way to go from one to the other by tunnel?
I couldn't tell you if it's still the case today for all the warehouses on the island, but I think I can imagine what you've got in mind. You can always visit them if you're not the claustrophobic type.
Nah, we ain't claustrophobic. No claustrophobia. No phobisms over here. Okay? Man, these people live in really poor conditions.
A whale vertebra. If the newspaper clipping in the bar is true, this bone is a real fossil.
We got a ratchet device.
This ratchet device seems to be usable.
Nope, we got a lever.
A handle. It must come from these old winches.
Oh, got a cogwheel.
Old cogwheel. Rusty, but in working order. I could use this old
mount the handle, cogwheel, and the ratchet device. Turn the handle.
Looks like everything is in its place. All that's left is to try to turn this handle. Damn, I broke it.
Oh, did we fail? We might have failed to check. Huh. That might have been what happened.
This tunnel goes under the warehouses.
Yeah, we didn't get it. Alright. That sucks.
Well, well. A little mouse has got lost on our turf. You're not only inquisitive, you're also stupid. What gave you the crazy idea to come onto my turf?
Let me think.
This muddy alley is yours? Good for you. I've got work to do.
I don't think that you've quite understood the situation. I'll tell you how things work around here. I decide who comes in and who stays out. And anyone who doesn't respect my rules, I punish them.
Say, so you're Cat.
Is your name Cat?
What of it?
Maybe we can come to an understanding.
Maybe. Or maybe not.
Ooh, right in the balls. Oh, not in the nads.
Get this joker out of here. He might have a little trouble walking on his own.
Ugh. I'm getting careless. I didn't see that coming. If I want to get into this warehouse, I'm going to have to deal with her.
Uh-oh.
You again? I told... No need to get worked up.
Uh-oh.
Well, well, look who's back.
Did you miss us?
I have an offer that could interest you.
We're listening.
I need you to keep them busy for a while.
You send us to take the punishment while you go quietly about your business.
Yeah, basically.
What's in it for us?
What would convince you to help me?
Bottle of hooch.
There's only one thing that'll get us to move.
Bottle of hooch.
For sure. Bring us something to drink and we'll take care of the bootleggers.
Cool. Exactly.
Look what I've got.
You're a good guy, you. Follow me. Cheers, you jackass.
I don't feel well.
Hey, where are you going?
Say that again. I hope for your sake that I didn't hear.
No, it's not what you think.
Oh no. Messed up. We got that guy hurt.
Let's see. Perfect. Oh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case?
Reconstruction. Okay. Enter reconstruction.
Who has enough money to buy painkillers, but stays in a place like this? It smells as bad as it looks. What is this picture of Charles and Sarah Hawkins doing here? Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings? Le Petit Parisien. Who might keep a news clipping about Sarah Hawkins?
Someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! You again. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
Let's team up.
You seem like a competent officer. We should help each other.
You're trying to manipulate me, Mr. Pierce. I hate to be taken for a fool.
All right, Inspector Lestrade. Let me take a more direct approach. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it.
It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene? Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose. God damn it. Her again. This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair.
Ooh.
Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Oh.
Why, you?
No.
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
I thought I'd straightened you out, mister. I am disappointed, but we'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building?
That's where we're headed.
That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do.
Chapter 3, Garden of the Hawkins Mansion. Pierce managed to get into the warehouse. The place, thought to be abandoned, revealed some surprises, signs of recent occupation, as well as partly charred painting. Interrupted in his searching by Officer Bradley, Pierce convinced him to join his investigation. The police officer is willing to drive the detective to the Hawkins Mansion. We enter the madness. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, look, he's got scars across his mouth. He got knifed. You want to know how I got these scars? Hit him with the Joker. Oh, someone's watching us.
Well, here we are. Hawkins Mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
I thought the mansion... let's do this. You're not the first to talk about Winchester.
Your partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family. So he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way, he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
You know the place very well.
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
Anything I should be aware of?
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Good.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
This place is falling into ruin.
I don't believe the fire is the only reason this house is in such a state.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
It's got nothing to do with Charles Hawkins' debts.
Ha! You've already begun to nose around it, would seem. So, since you already know it, the Hawkins family couldn't afford the upkeep of this house. It remains to be seen what they did with all their money. I wager it was Charles Hawkins' travels. Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
Thought the mansion burnt in a fire.
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
Okay.
Why not? You can help.
Right. Let's go.
All right, so we are actually going to go ahead and allow the game to save there and let it save well. We're getting close to, we have about 5 minutes towards our normal end time, so we're just going to end it just a smidge early and call that good. I think we got 2 chapters done. We're on chapter 3. So I think what we'll do from here is just go ahead and prepare to raid out today. We haven't raided out quite a while. Throw a raid out to my buddy Air 13. He's currently playing some Lies of P. So let me go ahead, click a raid channel, Air 13, start the raid. And yeah, we'll be back later this week with some more Call of Cthulhu. We'll play through Call of Cthulhu before we start Baldur's Gate 3. So I'm very excited to begin those journeys with you, and we will see you around. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Stay safe.